So let me make this abundantly clear. I do the job, and then I get paid.
I just burned my tongue. Guys, I'm absolutely exhausted today. I'm still waking up at 5 to 6, but this morning I woke up with a headache and it was just brutal from yesterday. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I'm doing to get shredded in this cut, in this prep that I'm doing. This is my first bodybuilding prep. So I don't know if I'm gonna do another one. So hopefully you guys join me on this journey when I compete, I think at the end of May. I almost said April. End of May, I think it is, and then we'll see how that goes, depending on if I want to keep competing or shit like that. So I want to talk about calories, my diet. Obviously, it's going to be like about my plan, but I want to hopefully make it generic enough so that you guys can implement your own plan if you want to, cut with me or you plan on losing some body fat. So all I'm really going to talk about later on after the workout is like calories, cardio, I guess food intake, how I'm going to regulate like timing, stuff like that, how I'm going to make adjustments weekly, because obviously when you make a plan right off the hop, it's not gonna be the same for like 12, 16 weeks in the future, right? You gotta make adjustments based on how your progress is going, how much weight you're losing, shit like that. So I'm starting off my day with a coffee. I just finished my cardio. I'm starting off with 30 minutes of cardio almost every single day, let's say 5 days right now, and obviously that will increase as time goes on as well. I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna make my first meal. I'm gonna talk about supplementation as well, I think, because I did that in my last cut, and a lot of people like that because they don't know when to implement certain things. So maybe the vitamins and shit like that, I'll show you guys as well. So have this pre-workout, day one of the cut. The water weight, bro.
You don't look that shitty, but you'll grab your abs again, show everyone how dehydrated you are.
Oh.
Ding. Oh, we might need to up your brow size from this one.
In terms of the supplementation, I guess I'll just rip this off real quick. It depends on what you have in your diet. Like if you don't like check off enough boxes in your diet, then you should probably supplement with different things. Let's say for an example, even based on where you live, if I live somewhere that, you get a lot of sunlight, it's always sunny, you can go for a walk outside for an hour, shit like that, you probably don't need a vitamin D, right? But I need that because I live in Canada. I doubt the sun's gonna come out today. Like it just looks like shit out there. I don't know if you can see. It's just not ideal right now. See, like this is overcast. I'm not getting any sun today. That's what I mean, where it just depends obviously where you live and then your diet. So I usually take a vitamin D, not usually, I always take vitamin D. I take a B12, it's like a natural energy. I've been taking KSM 66. I talked about it in a video, I think 2 videos ago or something like that. It's like ashwagandha. So if you don't know what ashwagandha is, I'm just gonna throw up what it does like right here. And also it increases your sperm volume and your sperm concentration. So fellas, hop on the KSM 66, all right? Then we also take a fish oil. You don't get enough fatty foods in your diet, like fatty fish, shit like that. Good to supplement with fish oil. Obviously, I'm gonna take a vitamin C as well. I'm just gonna take one of each of these, by the way. Then eventually, I'm gonna start taking Yobamine HCl. This is like the new essentials line from Huge Supplements. Later on as well, when I'm like super, super deep into the cut, I'm gonna start using Exterminate. So it's like a fat burner, basically just to kind of regulate my appetite and make sure I'm not getting super hungry. So if I feel like I'm getting hungry, I'll take this, especially in the morning. It'll just kind of hold me over, I guess. And then what other supplements do I take? If we're talking about pre-workout, obviously pre-workout before the gym, stack that with like a pump product. So like I'll take the pump serum. Usually I'll go like 1 scoop of this and then like 1 scoop of that, something like that. And creatine, I'm still taking creatine every single day. I literally have for the last 5 to 7 years of my life. I will probably need to take this out later on, especially like weeks out from a show. You don't want to be holding that much water, shit like that. So I'm still taking that. I just hopped on Turk as well again. I think I mentioned this, but basically this will be a true test to see if Turk actually benefits me being in a deficit, because last time I took this, it was last year, I think 8 weeks, something like that. I actually took it from Greg Doucette's company. Now Huge has it, so I've been basically just taking one capsule every single day. I'm gonna see if this actually works. Let's see if it actually works in the deficit. I'll let you guys know. I'll update you guys if that works and if it's worth buying. And then I take Magnify as well. This is like before the gym for pump and shit like that. So, and it's currently like 10, so I still fast a little bit, but it's not as crazy as I was like last year in previous cuts. I would fast for literally 6 to 7 hours every single morning, but now I'm gonna see if I feel better by eating quicker, maybe, you know, for muscle protein synthesis, stuff like that, because I'm not gonna be building muscle in the cut, right? I'm gonna look bigger, which a lot of people will think that you build muscle, but that's not the case. Like, you just lose the body fat to make yourself look bigger. It's an illusion. So I think I'm gonna start like doing something where I just read a couple messages every video. I don't know if you guys want me to do that, but if you guys want me to do this, I'm just gonna like read out a message every time, every video or something like that. But Caden, K-I can lift that. Dude, I wanted to thank you for being you and doing all you do. Your openness and honesty with the world has genuinely inspired me. I'm in recovery from a severe drug and alcohol addiction and severe eating disorder. I have finally found my new life in the gym. It's people like you that give me hope. You're such a positive influencer with great intentions and such pure love for what you do. Keep it up, man. I'll always be rooting for you. I'm praying one day that I'll be just as huge as you are. I'm putting in so much hard work. Love you, Cherub. I hope you see this. That's amazing, man. I don't know what I did to make you feel this way, Caden, or anybody who sends me a message, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Like, that means the world to me, man. Yeah. Love you guys. For you, Grandpa, right? Also, because I'll mention this later on when I talk about everything, like the plan and everything, but just because you guys are cutting or I'm shredding doesn't mean my program's gonna change that much. Like, I still wanna have heavy days and light days. Heavy days to obviously hopefully maintain my strength while I'm cutting. Obviously the strength will decrease later on in the cut, deeper in, but right now I'm still pushing heavyweight as much as I possibly can, especially on bench, deadlift, and squat. So don't just think that because you're cutting you should do 4 or 5 sets of 12 to 15 reps, something like that. I did this for my last cut, so I thought I would do it for this one and basically just go over everything in terms of my plan, my programming, my training, cardio, calories, how I make adjustments, shit like that in terms of the whole like cutting process, because I know a lot of people they want to do what I'm doing, but it's hard, or like what other people are doing, but it's hard to know where to start, especially if you kind of don't have that plan. You know, it's like setting goals in life. It's like, how can you kind of get to that pinnacle or the top of the pyramid if you don't have the steps to get there? You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys can take something from this video or something that I say and apply it to your own programming. Again, what I do isn't going to be the same for you. So please take everything with a grain of salt. You know, if you're taller than me, you're shorter than me, if you weigh more, if you weigh less, it's going to be different depending on who you are as an individual, your habits, your activity level, if you're a male, a female, you know, a rock, a turtle, it doesn't matter who you are, okay? If you don't trust me with anything I say, do your own research, I don't care, okay? So this is just what works for me and my clients and other people I work with as well. So first and foremost, I weighed in today at 207 pounds. So that is my starting weight for my cut, right? I think my show is in 18 weeks or 17 weeks. So if I lose a pound per week, I should be 18 pounds down. However, right off the hop this first week, I'm gonna lose a lot of weight, especially from water weight. Considering right off the hop, I'm gonna be dropping my calories by like 1,200 or something like that. I'm gonna talk about that in a second, but right off the bat, you're gonna lose a lot of weight from the water retention and probably if you're doing more cardio, stuff like that, but don't expect that to happen every single week, okay? The first 1 or 2 weeks, that's gonna be the anomaly weeks, okay? That's not gonna be how it's gonna go every single week, and it's not gonna go linear, right? You're gonna go down, you're gonna be stagnant, you might even go up depending on how your training goes, depending on if you were slacking, stuff like that. So don't just think you're gonna lose the same amount of weight every single week, okay? It's good to have a plan, let's say anywhere between 0.5 to 1 pound per week. That's a good plan to have so that, you know, if you're not hitting that every single week, you can make adjustments based on that. So I'm gonna put something up on the screen right here in terms of exactly what I'm gonna be doing in certain steps. So let's say like calories, like my diet, more or less how I'm gonna be training, cardio, and also again, how I'm gonna make adjustments over time. So with that being said, those are really the only things I'm gonna tap into besides supplements. I talked about that before. And obviously, you know, having a lot of water, having good sleep, those things will help you as well, because a lot of people neglect the little things, like having a lot of water, like having good amount of sleep, because if they don't get those things, when they try and directly correlate something else that's going wrong to training or diet, or maybe they have to decrease their calories or up their cardio because they feel like shit or something like that, or maybe they need a deload, maybe you just need to sleep better, maybe you just need to drink more water. So take things into consideration, take everything with a grain of salt. Like I already mentioned, I'm a broken record, but it's true. You have to literally, if you want it to be as precise as possible, and if you're a natural lifter like myself, you have to be more strategic, because it's gonna be harder, right? Especially if you're trying to get to like 6 to 7% body fat, it's gonna be harder to get to those levels as a natural and sustain it for a decent amount of time. And you know, your hormones are gonna be all out of whack, shit like that. So it's better to just have all the boxes kind of checked off in terms of water, diet, like I mentioned, sleep, shit like that. So in terms of calories, I'll talk about that first. I ended my bulk around 4,000 calories per day, okay? And now I'm starting my cut at around 27 to 2,800. So technically I would wanna start at like 3,000 to 3,200, but I'm doing that on purpose so that I would rather be ready earlier than later in terms of doing a show, or if you're getting ready for a, you know, beach vacation or something like that. I would rather be ready earlier so that if I'm, you know, looking good, let's say a month and a half or 2 months before my actual show, then I can introduce more calories and I can just play with it more rather than coming in later and you're kind of doing it more rushed. I would rather, especially as a natural, guys, be ready earlier, okay? So I'm gonna be cutting my calories basically by, 1,200 to 1,300. But basically when I don't lose weight for like 7 to 10 days, that's a plateau, okay? You don't hit a plateau after 1 or 2 days, okay? That's not a plateau. That just means something else is different. Maybe your training session was super hard, maybe you hit legs, maybe you had a high carb day, so the scale's not really changing. Okay, that's not a plateau. Over time, let's say 7 to 10 days, your weight isn't going down, then you need to make adjustments to your plan. So off the start, again, 2,700 to 2,800 calories, that's what I'm personally doing. In terms of the plan in my head, again, it's gonna change over time based on how my body reacts to the calories, cardio, my training, stuff like that. Again, this is just like a theoretical plan, and hopefully it can go in steps like this, but it's not gonna be linear like I mentioned, right? I'm gonna decrease my calories by probably 200 every single month. So I'm pretty sure, let me just do it right now so that I don't say something wrong here. My show is at the end of May, I believe. I'll let you guys know exactly what I'm doing in terms of the show and shit like that. If you guys wanna maybe come down and watch it, I know a bunch of people are from Canada, so if you guys are cool with that, I would love to see a bunch of you in the crowd. That'd be dope. But I'll let you guys know more about that later. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 18 weeks. So that is basically 4 months. So technically, if I'm starting out, let's say 2,800 calories, decrease it by 200. Next month, I'm gonna be at 26. On the month after that, I'm gonna be at 24. And then the month after that, I'm gonna be at 22. And then hopefully that last month, I'm gonna be around like 2,000. Then, you know, leading up to the show, I'm probably gonna be like anywhere between 1,600 to 1,800, I think. I don't know what me and my coach are gonna do, but basically that's just to get everything out, right? Just literally get as shredded as possible. Obviously that last month and a half is probably gonna be shit. That's basically the main gist of things in terms of the calorie portion. If I don't wanna change my calories, I can up my cardio. So in terms of cardio right now, I'm doing 30 minutes of cardio, just basically on the treadmill, just walking, incline treadmill. Actually, my fucking treadmill in my apartment's broken right now, so I'm just walking normally, but I'm walking quicker or the higher speed, so hopefully that helps. But anyways, I'm walking for like 30 minutes, 5 days a week right now. So nothing serious. It's not like crazy. I don't even consider that like cardio. Like if I lived somewhere nice, I would walk to go get coffee. Like it's minus 20 outside right now, so I'm not gonna do that. So then as time goes on, again, as my weight plateaus or as I make adjustments to my plan, basically, I can either decrease the amount of calories that I'm intaking on a daily basis, or I can increase the cardio, which I will play around with those two. I would like to have as much food as possible because my appetite is crazy. So I would like to, again, have as much food as possible, but I'm probably gonna like decrease my calories first, see how I'm reacting off of 2,500. Then I'm gonna go and start increasing cardio. So I'll maybe add one more day. I'll go 6 days a week. Then maybe it'll go from 30 minutes to maybe 35 minutes or 40 minutes. So over time, if you do that, let's say in a 6-session kind of period, if I increase it by 10 minutes over 6 sessions, I'm adding in an hour of cardio every single week. So it's those little things that actually matter and they actually add up to be exponential in the future. So again, if you guys are doing this for yourself, find how many calories you need for yourself. If you don't know what to do, this is just a pretty generic equation that I use for a lot of people and myself. Take your body weight in pounds, multiply it by 14 to 16, and that's your maintenance level. Then subtract like 500 calories from that or 500 from that number, and that should put you into a calorie deficit. Again, it's just a theoretical equation. It's not gonna be perfect. Just adjust it based on how your weight kind of goes, kind of test it for, let's say, a week or two, something like that. You know, if you're gaining weight, then you're probably not in a deficit. Or if you're losing weight too quickly, then it's probably too big of a deficit. So that's 14 to 16. If you're on the lower end of 14, you're just not as active during the day. So maybe you have a desk job, maybe you don't move that much, you're not doing too much cardio right now, stuff like that. So if that's you, then multiply your body weight in pounds by 14. If you are super active, maybe you work a labor job of some sort and you get like 20,000, maybe 30,000 steps a day, multiply it by 16 because you burn more calories, right? So you need more to kind of maintain your body weight. And then again, you want to lose weight from that number, minus 500, or if you want to gain weight, then just add like, you know, anywhere between 200 to 500, something like that, right? In terms of the diet portion, like what I have, if we're talking about proteins and stuff like that, I have a lot of whole food. Like I have supplements as well, huge supplements. I only take like 2 to 3 scoops of protein every single day. I don't want to rely on protein, like the supplement, but it's good to hit my protein intake so that I'm not eating 7 meals a day of chicken and fish and eggs and all that shit. Like I'm fine with doing that, but it's just less convenient and it's time consuming. So most of my meals, like especially in the morning, I'm having eggs, egg whites in terms of the protein content of those meals. My next meal I'm having like turkey or like fish. Next meal after that, maybe I'm having something small. So maybe like a meal replacement, I'll have like 2 scoops of chocolate peanut butter huge whey or something like that. On the next meal, maybe chicken breast, maybe some steak. My last meal of the day is usually like Greek yogurt and again like a scoop of protein. So I try and stick to that rule of like 85-15. So 85% of my calories is good, whole, nutritious food. And the other 15% is like more things that I want to have in my diet to stick to my diet. But at the same time, I don't think I'm gonna follow that during this prep because I want it to be 100. I want to be spot on with everything I do, because if I'm only gonna do this once, I don't know if I'm gonna do this again. You know, if it's for me, and if it's not for me, you know, I learned something from it. So I'm gonna have refeeds every now and then, and basically that is going to be incorporated when I start doing carb cycling. I'm not doing that right now. I'll just put up an example right here of carb cycling, or how I do it personally. So usually I would have like say a medium carb day, and then you go low, then high, then maybe another medium, and then low, then high. So basically that's just like, in a sense, you're just decreasing your calories from your carbs, and then as you do that, you increase your fats a little bit, because some people work better off having more fats and some people work better off having more carbs. Me personally, if I could do a very low carb diet, I would be shredded all year round, even if I'm having a lot of calories. My body just feels so good off having a lot of fat and a lot of protein, but I know carbs make me feel good for my training sessions. They keep me full, so I'm not gonna neglect having carbs. But at the same token, to kind of just, in the past, carb cycling has just always helped me in a sense, just to have more low days. And basically when I have like the low carb days, the day after that, usually I have a lower weight. Guys, you don't have to do that. Like, it's just something that works for me and what I like to do. As long as you're hitting your calories and your protein every single day, that's all you have to worry about, okay? Yeah, basically just making adjustments is the biggest thing, guys. Like, if you don't make adjustments to your plan, how are you gonna progress, right? A lot of people, they come to me or other people on the internet or people that think they know what they're doing or whatever, like, oh, how do I lose weight? And they give them a set amount, or they give them a meal plan, they give them a training program. When that person follows it for a month, then it's like, okay, that's awesome. When they ask for the next month, well, it's like, then they tell them to do the same thing. Well, it's like, no, you have to keep making progress. You have to make adjustments, to get better. At the end of the day, it's just a big equation, and if you nail down this equation, you'll be fine. And in terms of cutting, that's cardio, diet, training, water, sleep, all that shit. Obviously the back end, just make sure that's good, water and all that stuff. I usually have like 6 liters a day, 1.5 gallons, something like that. I sleep anywhere between 6 to 8 hours. Yeah, anyways guys, that's basically what I'm doing in terms of my plan. And obviously I will tell you guys more about my show and when that's coming, because I hope to see a lot of you, see what we can do out there, and see if this works for me and how shredded I can get. And hopefully you guys can implement this plan for yourself. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If I missed anything, I'll probably put it down in the description, because sometimes I just rip off this shit and I miss something. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Peace out.